Hello everybody, I am Doug, or Fiero Doug 5 on the forums. I just wanted to make this little video about the awesome PlusCart for the Atari 2600. Cart that's been in the works for about a year by a Atariage user named Al Newfer. It's an open source project and it's kind of become a community-wide project, and a lot of other people have been chipping in on the project. So what is the PlusCart, if you haven't been paying attention? Well, it's basically an Uno cart without the SD card. The Uno cart is a multi-cart, just like similar to the Harmony cart, where you load up your 2600 ROMs on an SD card, put the SD card in, plug this into your Atari 2600, and you have an on-screen menu that you can pick your games. So the PlusCart is very similar, but instead of using an SD card, it uses a ESP8266 Wi-Fi adapter to connect to the internet, where this cartridge connects to what is called the Plus Store, which is kind of like a internet cloud, where there are ROMs that you can upload yourself, ROMs that other people have uploaded that are public, and then you can also flash this cart with your own ROMs that you can use even when the cartridge is offline. But the best feature is there is a high score club on the cartridge. So you can play games that are in the high score challenges. As soon as your game is over, your score is automatically uploaded to the high score page. And I'll show you that in a little bit on the computer. It is really awesome. They've just added this week virtual patches that you can get for the games that had patches. It's really a lot of fun. So I have a multitude of PlusCarts here, as you can see. And the other reason I'm doing this video is it's Christmas time and I wanted to do something for Christmas. And I love the Atari 2600 Game by Game podcast. So I decided to make a cartridge for Ferg. So this cartridge right here that I am in the process of working on, I am going to send to Ferg for free. And I am also going to send this one to Ferg. And this one will be a giveaway cartridge that Ferg can give away however he wants on the Atari 2600 Game by Game podcast. And if you live in the United States, I will ship this cart to whoever the winner is, absolutely free. I will pay for the shipping and everything, and you will get this PlusCart. It's pretty awesome. All right, so let me show you what is inside the PlusCart. So this cartridge, you can buy it from Al on the. He has a store where he'll sell a do-it-yourself kit. You can buy it assembled like this without a case. You can buy it in a recycled Atari cartridge, or you can buy it in a 3D printed case that looks similar to this blue one here. Or you can also build it yourself. Like I said, this is all open source, so you can get these PlusCart breakout boards made at whatever PCB supplier. I did it from a JLC PCB. I had these made. Got 5 of them, and then there's this STM32 development board that you need, and it comes with the header pins. And then you also need this little ESP8266 Wi-Fi adapters, the other part. And then you just solder the headers on, solder the board on, solder the ESP on. I'm waiting on more ESP8266s so I can finish some of these cartridges that I'm making. But here's my assembled one that I've been playing with for about a week now. So here's the ESP8266 Wi-Fi card. Here's the STM32 development board, and then it's all soldered together to this PlusCart breakout PCB that goes into your Atari. And then Andrew Davey designed a really awesome case that you can 3D print, and it uses these little pins so that you can take the cartridge apart if you need to get to the USB connector to reflash it. I believe firmware updates after your initial flash are going to be done over the air. So you won't need to get into the cart, but maybe if there's some major rework of the firmware, you may need to open up your cartridge. So that's why Andrew Davey designed the cartridge like this. And it's a really nice 3D print design. And that 3D print is available on Thingiverse. All right, so let's get this plugged into the Atari, and I'll show you how it works. All right, so here's the PlusCart Store, and you can see he's got the 3D printed one in stock. These are all in euros. Here's PlusCart Assemble DOI kits, or he currently doesn't have any, and in the original repurposed cartridge shell, he doesn't have any. But this is where you can go to buy your PlusCart. A couple things to check out if you haven't. There's a 20-page thread on Atariage on PlusCart. That's been going on for about a year now. The PlusCart website has everything you need on the PlusCart website. The information, the user manual is on the site. Explanation of the hardware that's used, how to assemble it. Nice, really nice write-up that Al did on how to assemble the unit. How to flash it. You do not need any special programmer to flash this cart. It uses the STM32 Cube programmer, and then just a regular USB cable. Tells you how to encase it. There's the Andrew Davey 3D printed case. Here's how to hack up like a reused Pac-Man cartridge or something. This explains the Plus Store that the cartridge connects to. You have to create an account on that. It's free of charge. This explains the Plus ROMs and how you can make Plus ROMs if you're a developer and you want to add your game to the, say, the high score challenge and stuff. The contributors, of course, Al Nefer designed the cartridge. Thomas Jentz helped with some of the stuff. Andrew Davey also, as I mentioned, designed the cartridge. There's also a GitLab page for the cartridge as well. And then there's where you can go to get to the store to buy a cartridge. Let's see. And here's the High Score Club. So these are all the games that are currently in the High Score Club. And if you click on it'll show you, here's the high scores table. And then if you click on somebody's name, it'll tell you all the games that they've played and their ranking. This is all new. I think rankings was just added last night or this morning. And virtual patches, let me see if I can get to one here. So here's the virtual patches that you can get, which is really cool. Like I said, this was just added just a few days ago. So really cool, really fun stuff. All right, so now let me show you the cartridge on a real Atari 2600. All right, so here's the Plus Store website. So if you just got your cart, you're going to want to log in to the make an account on the Plus Store. And in here, this is where all the public ROMs are. This offline folder is where you can put ROMs on, and then you can flash the cart over the internet within the cart in the setup menu. I'll show you that in a second. And then My ROMs, you can put your own ROMs here, and you can access them from the cart online. The offline ROMs will flash to the flash memory on the cartridge, and you can play those games even if the cartridge is not connected to the internet. So that's helpful. You know, like say you take your 2600 to a show and you want to use the cartridge that way. It's good for that, and you don't have to have a separate Harmony or Uno cart with you. All right, so let's look at the cartridge. All right, so let's plug in the cartridge and turn it on. I don't know how it's showing up on the on the camera here, but there's a little light that shines through here. It'll blink blue and stuff when it's booted, and then when it goes all red, that's the Wi-Fi is enabled. All right, so let's show the screen here. All right, let's power this up. All right, so here's the menu that the PlusCart boots to. If this is the first time using this, you need to connect it to the internet. So if you go to Setup, there's a couple different ways that you can connect this to the internet. The easiest being Wi-Fi WPS Connect. So if your modem has a WPS Connect button, I use Xfinity. Mine has a little round button on the top that says WPS. You hit that button on your modem, and your modem will flash some things, and then you hit that button, and it should connect. So that's one way that you can connect, and the easiest way, if it works. For me, it didn't work right away, and then I turned the cartridge off and rebooted the cartridge, and boom, I was connected. So, and you'll see that right here. There's your Wi-Fi. When it's connected, it looks like that. And this other icon right here, that is your connection to the Plus Store. So when you first boot up your cartridge, that icon right there will be hollow, which means you're not connected to the Plus Store. But once you connect to the Plus Store and activate the cartridge on the Plus Store, that will be solid like that, and that means you're connected to the Plus Store. So the second way to connect to the Wi-Fi would be to enter your Wi-Fi password, which you can do in the Wi-Fi Manager portal. And you can actually go in there and then enter your SSID password for your modem, and hopefully that will work and get you connected to the internet. All right, so, oh, and here is download off-road ROM. So I showed in your Plus Store you have a offline folder. If you have files in that, this will say download off-road ROMs like it does right now. And if I click that over the internet, over the air internet, it will put those ROMs into the flash memory of the cartridge. All right, so let's go back to the main menu. So now we're connected to the Plus Store, we're connected to the internet, and now we can play some ROMs. So we go to Public ROMs, and we'll click Classic ROMs, NTSC because I'm in America, and you can go either by company or alphabet. And there's just a ton of games on here. I believe every game made has been uploaded to this. I mean, there's just everything's on here. So I picked Chopper Command, and boom, there we go, that fast. Over the internet, it loaded that ROM from the Plus Store, and now we are ready to play a game. It works that easy, that quickly, and it is, I think, totally awesome. All right, so to get out of a game, you hold the joystick to the right and you hit the reset button. This doesn't work on every game. I've had a couple games where it doesn't work. In some games, you need to be in game mode to get that to work. Sometimes if it's on the title screen, it won't work. Start the game and then hold the joystick to the right and hit reset, and it will exit and go back to the menu here. All right, so that's that. That's the public ROMs. Trying to get back to the main menu here. So my ROMs are ROMs that I have in my ROMs folder on the Plus Store. So I happen to have a bunch of Christmas games because it's Christmas, and these load over the internet from the Plus Store. And then there's offload ROMs. I happen to have the same Christmas games here. These are actually on the flash RAM on the cartridge. All right, so now the coolest part of the cartridge, in my opinion, is the High Score Club. So go into Public ROMs, Plus ROMs, and High Score Club. And these are all the games that I showed you on the High Score website. And there's PAL versions and NTSC. So I'm going to pick bowling because it happens to be the only game I'm good at. All right, so now I'm going to start this game, and I'm going to play through, and it is going to automatically, the score is going to be automatically uploaded to the High Score Club when I'm done. So I will come back when I'm in the 10th frame. All right, so I'm in the 10th frame here. Just finish up this game. Oh, got a strike, so a couple more frames here. All right, so the game is going to end here. All right, so game over. I ended with 206. Now that score automatically went to the high score table, so let me show you that. All right, so we just finished that game of bowling. Let's go to the high score club here, click on bowling, and I scored a 206, and here it is right here. I'm fourth on the board, score of 206. Today's date, which is December 13th. I played it at 4:48 p.m. and that's it. So it's that easy, and it's a lot of fun. I've been having a blast playing the high score challenges, and I never played really high score challenges before, like where you had to post your results or whatever. But this is so easy and fun, and it's great. So if you want to win a Plus cartridge, make sure you are tuning in to the Atari 2600 Game by Game podcast. You should be listening to that podcast anyway, because Ferg's awesome. But if you want to win this cartridge, make sure you're tuning in. And if you don't win it, make sure you either build one of these cartridges or buy one of these cartridges, because they're awesome. All right, so that's all for this video. I hope I was somewhat helpful in explaining the PlusCart. I hope if you weren't aware of the PlusCart, that you are aware of it now. And if you don't happen to win the cartridge I'm giving away on the 2600 Game by Game podcast, make sure you get one of these PlusCarts. They are quite awesome. Talk to you guys later.